Mm.
And Turkey is a pretty liberated country, right? Within 5 minutes, you arrest people who try to do gay pride? It really shows their tolerance of gayism and LGBTQ. No, it doesn't. It just proves what we've been saying all along. If you'd like to support the channel, please make sure to donate through Buy Me a Coffee. It helps me buy new gear, make more content for you daily, and it supports the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
How demanding a store discount turns into an arrest. Many such cases. Yeah, so I have this lady here. She's trying to buy merchandise. What's she hiding in a little box like a fucking hobbit? What's she doing hiding in there? Like a mole. Oh my god. Unfortunately, I get. I mean, immediately, like, I mean, you know, there's something wrong with her. Who does this? Her discount when she said her brother, I have to follow that policy. She does not want to leave the store, and I'm gonna have to try. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am. Good. You have to leave the store, right? She's hard of hearing. You gotta leave the store, right? She's hard of listening. If you refuse to leave, you'll be subject to arrest. Okay? Do you have an ID on you? Just leave the store. Can I get your ID? Just leave the store. That's all you have to do. Just leave. No, like everybody else is telling me no. So what? I'm gonna say no because everybody else is letting me know. Are you refusing to leave? Like I said, if you do not leave, you'll be placed under arrest. Oh my god. Okay? They're asking you to leave. They're not gonna give you the discount. Okay. You're not getting the Ross discount. You're not getting it. Are you refusing to leave? I'm gonna give you one more time. It's ridiculous. How is it ridiculous? You just want to what? No, I don't get they give their employees discounts and my boyfriend works for the company. Now I'm money. So they don't have money. Well, they're not going to give any discounts. But they won't. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, then leave. They don't have to hold this close to you. Okay? Isn't it crazy that these people, like, as I said, it's like the police or adult daycare. It really is. Like, because they're dealing with these people and they're just functionally children. Like, it's insane the way they act. It's just what? They're insane. Okay. How are you having a crash out in the cubbyhole of fucking Ross because you weren't able to get a discount? Like, I mean, how bad does it have to be for you to reach this point in your life? Have to leave the store. God. okay? There's nothing I can do about it. So, you refuse to leave.
Yeah.
Here we go. He told you this officer is a reasonable man. Good. Seeing this over and over, it's made me realize how much the police are completely reasonable and totally normal. She told you to leave. You're not going to be able to speak that on over on. You got one more time. I'm going to ask you one more time. And if you do not leave, you're going to be placed under arrest. Trying to make him feel sorry for him? Oh my God. She's recording, she's acting. I think that a lot of people act this way. There's a lot of people, I think overwhelmingly, like guys act this way too, but I think certain girls do. Because there are certain girls that act in a way where they basically behave like children, and men put up with it for different reasons. They're pretty, it's their sister or something like that, and they basically just put up with this shit their entire life. So these people basically are able to grow up and always be treated like children. And really, that's the reason. Like, I mean, if you look at like oh, I won't talk to you or make eye contact with you. No, I'm not doing the thing that I'm obviously doing. Like, this is what kids do. It's what children do. And so that's really what happens is that people like this have never experienced any consequences for their antisocial behavior because they're pretty or something like that. And because of that, it just kind of goes unchecked. And so whenever the police arrive and they don't give a shit about that, then their entire worldview is like evaporated. You guys want to prosecute this week? You want to prosecute it for this week? Prosecute for charges? Yeah. If you say you guys don't want to press charges, we are going to leave without telling her, without removing her from the property. If you guys want to press charges, we'll place her under arrest for trespass after one. And then I'll have to take you guys. That's smart. All right, they're calling next door manager. Do not leave. By the time they get off the phone with them, you're going to be under arrest. You need to leave. You're telling me to leave. I just want a discount. You don't just get discounts because you want a discount. So you can leave or you can be placed under arrest if they want to prosecute. It's just simple as that, man. You're seriously gonna be for trying to what discount are you wanting? My boyfriend is what a mistake to ask that question, bro. Okay, your boyfriend is not here. He will be here after 7 p.m. Again, if he's really working, they can lose your job. Okay, well then I'm not gonna. Damn. Yeah. No one's going to give you a discount, okay? So you can either leave or you're going to be in handcuffs and you're going to go to jail for trespassing. And like to any rational person, this is a very easy decision. Stay at Ross, get arrested, and go to jail, or simply leave the store. It's a very easy decision. Discount. I think the guy cop wants to arrest her. Oh, fuck, bro. She might just they were dealing with. And then let this happen. Like, how do you do this to yourself? Please, one more. I mean, it's a short video. I mean, this is a short video. I know you guys. Oh, look, I've been gone a few days. All right. fine. This is okay. Fine. We'll do one more. It's okay. I mean, it's only 9 minutes, right? It's only 9 minutes. We can watch them. Oh my God, this is they're so stupid and childish. Look at these. How it did it. The point was turns into a felony. Which one do you guys want to watch? Okay. The garbage truck one or the dentist one?
Do, 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 do.
How about this? Okay, how about this? Is it fair? A lot of you guys want to watch the dentist one. I want to play Windows today. Twice the game. Can I give you a rain check on watching this one, and we'll do the garbage truck one today, and we'll watch that one tomorrow? Is that reasonable?
Mm, 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 mm. Uh,
After I did that review, I got not a ton, but I did ask some people like, really? You're going to be one of the few critics to recommend that film? And maybe subconsciously I was thinking to myself, oh, I know what's next. I know one of the animated films that I'm going to have to see next year. And I got to say, for all the people that said that's the worst film that ever came out this year, a lot of critics are really harping on and everything. This makes the Mario Galaxy movie look like 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is a movie that I saw with, that was the first thing they dropped, and I heard Circus was directing it, and, I wasn't the biggest fan of his the Jungle Book adaptation that he did years ago, but it's clear he understood the material. Like, he strikes me as someone that's like, okay, he kind of has first movie problems with some of his films, but he'll get better and better. There's a definite style and identity there, and he's clearly a smart guy, great actor, and everything. So the idea of doing what honestly is one of my all-time favorite books was pretty exciting, and doing it in animation, especially. And I really thought, oh man, he's gonna do something with the medium that's gonna be a little different, because we don't have a ton of grown-up animation. And even having Seth Rogen in there, who did this movie years ago called Sausage Party, which was just a 100% adult animated movie. And it was a big hit, and I'm like, man, okay, maybe take that idea of doing something very adult, but don't make it like Crude or anything like that. Make it Animal Farm, make it this George Orwell, masterpiece. And as soon as they released a little clip of it, which is Seth Rogen as Napoleon, which is already not a great choice, talking to one of the piglets, and just the dialogue, the language, everything was so wrong. It was just so wrong. It felt like something out of a Minions movie. And I'm like, this isn't going to work, isn't it? And then that trailer dropped that everyone just went, no, this can't be real. This is a parody. This is not a real movie. And it was real. It's a real film, and it is exactly what you think it's going to be. It is. The trailers are letting on, and
Okay, then. Punch, let's be free and kick, and we shall see what will be.
was to see something just this hilariously bad. Laughter is contagious, and good mood can be contagious. And this is one where I'm like, yeah, okay, this clearly isn't going to be good. And I'm kind of here for it. Let's go. Let's see this year's War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. Let's do it. And it was starting off so hilariously bad. There is so much rap in this movie, and I'm gonna surprise you with this. It's not very good rap. The first rap in this movie is "Oh, McDonald's had a farm," and it's like, oh, okay, this is like one of those AI trailer parodies stretched out to an entire film. So I was actually kind of excited for how god awful this was gonna be. I just threw everything that was George Orwell out the window. And even by that measure, even by that low bar, I said, set for it, it somehow still managed to disappoint on a bunch of other levels. Because here's the thing: let's say you never heard of Animal Farm. I guess a lot of people read it in high school. I wasn't. It wasn't required reading for me. I discovered it when that TNT miniseries came out. I'm like, what is this? And George Orwell book? What? I never. And I was so fascinated by just by the commercial. I went out and read the book, and of course, fell in love with it. So the fact that they have this setup, uh, that is clearly very, very well known, and they're gonna instead do this thing like an Illumination movie, one of the worst Illumination movies. Again, give Mario Galaxy a little bit more credit here. It's an actor Stephen Zales. Like I said, you really got to look at that movie a little differently. But I think when they started going down this road of we're just gonna tell an average kids movie, just yeah, we'll have maybe a few bullet points from the book, but it's just gonna be for little kids. We're not gonna go too dark with it or anything. Even by that low bar, if you never heard the book, it is boring. It is not well paced. It's edited really.
So Harry Ringrod, we need to continue. We need to make it work.
The explanation of why is not very good, especially if you know the story and you're like, well, I can't. I mean, this movie's so terrible they wouldn't go the direction that the book goes with one of the characters, and they do, and it's done terribly. But the way they try to work it in as a narrative is just so horrendous. And they have these fade out on scenes that just don't seem to end. They just kind of stop. Nobody says anything that's like, well, that's a good moment for that scene to end. It just sort of fades out, and then your fade back in, or just cuts to another shot. That's not very interesting. Like, they don't even find interesting shots to fade in on or cut to after these fade outs. And because they've had this language where, they'll do stuff like, quote the famous Orwellian line from, the original text, I am about to fart. That is an actual line in this movie, just like Orwell would have wanted. And you know what? This is 1984 coming to life. The more I think about it, we just let this happen. And we said more. We didn't say that's not true. Everybody thinks about this movie. But the people that are supposed to represent what we want to see in entertainment, they let this happen. They're supposed to be our voice for entertainment. In a way, it is kind of Animal Farm because it's, we sort of say these people who are great actors and, these great writers, and the writer of this has written some good stuff in the past, and these, they're going to be good. They're going to bring in something good, and they just let us down. They broke all the laws. They're walking on two legs. And it just goes so far in the other direction of having them speak, like I said, just with more modern dialogue and catchphrases and so forth, that when you do get to these moments where the animals are crossing off the laws and they're writing something else on there, the world building doesn't make sense because in the George Orwell book, I don't want to say it's a fairy tale, but it has kind of similar rules in that the rules are supposed to be a little loose because the animals are evolving. And obviously it's also supposed to be an allegory, for something else. But because they're, just learning how to read and they're figuring out what letters and numbers are, some can read very well, some can, they'll look at something like the letters being crossed off and like, well, yeah, I can read that is what that says, and they might not just even know this, this blank, it's just a giant crossing out of the words, there. I mean, just these scribbles over words that used to be there. Oh, that is what it says. There's just this idea of like these animals evolving, so the rules are kind of flexible. Because again, they're still animals. They're not where they should be, and they're discovering alcohol, and they're discovering things that humans do, and they get corrupted by it. So the dialogue in there is very simple, but there's weight to it. There's a very simple dignity to it. Where in this one, because they're throwing around all these catchphrases and fart jokes and stuff, and teach them how to move their rumps in order to impress the ladies and stuff, and playing all these rap songs and some pop songs in there. They got y'all ready for this in there because of course they do. They say things like totally rad, totally cool, which When was this written? This is so bizarre. It feels like 30 years ago. And even then, that would be really lame. But the world building doesn't make sense then because you're just watching, this main character who's the little piglet who, I mean, in the original, I'm trying to think there's even like a main character. I mean, it really is just the animals. But when you're doing an adaptation like this, I get it. In the TNT version, they have like the sheepdog, the main character, so that doesn't really bother me. But because they have this modern speak, I, as an audience member, if I never read the book, would be watching this movie saying, well, why are they falling for that? Why do they keep letting this Napoleon character, I'm sorry, Napopo, as he likes to be called later, that is totally true. Why do they keep letting him break the rules? They can see the rules are being broken. I mean, yeah, they're dumb characters because they're written dumb, but they wouldn't fall for this. They would, if they know these catchphrases, they would be able to put together that this character is breaking all the rules, and they wouldn't keep falling for it over and over and over. So even by that low bar of just, hey, we're just going to be a dumb Minions movie or Despicable Me 4, yeah, we don't care, we're just having something bouncy. Even by that low bar, it doesn't really meet it, because it's also not very biblical. Sometimes you get some bits of like some nice colors in the background, but it is rare. It's mostly brown. The textures are not crystal.
So we were just planning out this page, yes.
It has very
Because I need to make progress.
but for something shown on the big screen, yeah, this is not a very impressive looking film. Everything just feels like it was, edited down or chopped down or just so a bunch of stuff happening behind the scenes. And I was saying in a review I did with Brad Jones, I was saying I got one of two theories about how the film came to be. Uh, it's how we got what we got, and this is only theory. I have no proof behind this, but I think when I look at Andy Serkis, I hear him in interviews. I saw that Blues Brothers movie and everything. I feel like this is not what he wanted, and that stuff happened behind the scenes where either studios were trying to change everything. Maybe it was meant to go to one studio and then they dropped it, so another studio picked it up, and they wanted to change it. That's one theory. Or the other theory is that what the original book was trying to do was very much trying to be an allegory to, Stalin and communism and so on and so forth. This one, if you showed me it today and I never read the book, I'd be like, oh, they're trying to do Napoleon is Trump and Snowball is Kamala Harris. Like that would be my assumption. Like it's an allegory to capitalism. Like we don't have any of those nowadays. And there could be some bleed over in that, certainly. It's just anything that has like this evil, authoritative, sort of vibe to it. You can easily point to just people in power abusing the system. And like I said, you can get that in both, you know, of Stalin. You can get that definitely, with some people in capitalism and stuff like that. But there's certainly this element of just being so on the nose with something where I feel like the way they got like a lot of these celebrities involved. I mean, they got Andy Serkis. I mean, this is the director Andy Serkis was trying to take it. He said, we're going to do Animal Planet. We're going to update. We're going to make it. Nobody else is doing. We're going to do a big commentary on modern day politics and capitalism, which everybody is doing. And a lot of times I usually agree with it too, but it's just, do they think these movies are really going to change anyone's opinions? I think it's just going to keep people already in their hug boxes and their bubbles and everything. And I just feel like, if anything, it's going to get people to look and say, yeah, maybe I do want to look at the other side just because I don't like this. Kind of thing. I think it's going to push more and more people away. Because not only are there a lot of celebrities in this, but some of the producer like Andy Serkis is a producer on this, Woody Harrelson's producer on this. But that can also be, maybe the film's just running out of money and maybe they threw a little money their way. I mean, producer, executive producer, especially, kind of mean a lot. But it's still something where they put money down.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Tossed out in.
Getting them on board if this was in fact the script they got. Because when you hate something enough, when you're so angry, you got a cause, and you believe maybe too much in that cause, you'll just overlook the other things that are supposed to be important. You won't see the bad writing. You won't look at totally rad, cool, as the modern dialogue in the beginning, like this is what kids say, and say that seems really big, that seems really lame, because no, it's for our cause, it's for what we're trying to get across here. And yeah, big shock, it doesn't work. It's really, really bad. And it does something at the end I have never seen before. And it kind of fascinated me. I don't think it's really going to spoil anything. It's the end credits. It's not really an after credit sequence per se. It starts to show the credits, which are a little confusing. They have these paintings of Napoleon, like first he's a caveman, a cave pig, whatever, and then it shows him as like these evil authoritative characters over history, like a pharaoh that's like, packing the whip for animals to build pyramids and stuff like that. It's like, okay, whatever. I guess there's always been pigs like this in history. I don't know, but there's a little thing in the corner that drops these really bad pig puns, and a pig announcement coming in, and it has a little countdown of like maybe 3 minutes or something like that, and it'll keep popping up in these different corners. You're going to give a standing ovation in 2 minutes, 30 seconds, or whatever. And I'm looking at Brad here, and I'm just like, I gotta know what on earth this is, what it's building up to. And finally, when the countdown reaches its end, it gives two QR codes for you to scan, and it says, "How was our farm?" Basically, how was the film? And one says, "I had a great time," and the other says, "Never do this again." And I really gotta wonder if that's just Andy Serkis or one of the producers or somebody just being like, "Oh man, we know this is terrible. This is kind of our way of saying, yeah, we get it. Can you tell the people who wanted these changes made that this is not what you want? Can you scan this one?" So you know that. And what's funny is that the code didn't work on Brad's side. It took a long time for mine to scan it, but when it finally did, it takes you to a website. Because of course I did the one that says never do this again. And it takes you to a website on the phone that just says, "You are wrong." And it's this whole thing about like how Napoleon wants you to, it's okay, Napoleon will forgive you if you donate several magic paper to us, which in the film magic paper is money pretty much. And, I don't think you're supposed to actually do it, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff written there. That I was just kind of scanning through. I'm like, some of this is a little funny. So, yeah, it's kind of a shame that the funniest part of the movie isn't even in the movie. It's in the end credits, and you have to go somewhere else to see it. There are two legit laughs I had in this movie. One's a minor one, and that's when they're drinking these, sort of these Hawaiian girly drinks. They usually put like, I don't know, a pineapple on it or some fruit or even like a cookie on the straw or something like that. And this one, they just have cheeseburgers on the straw. That was cute. That was a little funny. And then there's one line that legit really made me laugh. I thought it was really clever. So they're giving the animals less and less food as the film goes on. And one of the animals says, "This is less food than yesterday." And the pig handing it out says, "Well, it depends how you look at it. Is it less food than yesterday or more food than tomorrow? It really is about the way you see things." That made me laugh. I thought that was actually a very mean line too. Yeah, outside of that, I can't think of any moment that I laughed for the reason it wanted me to laugh. I only
Mm. Uh. Oh yeah, we plan out the page more or less. Let's let it cook a bit. Yeah. Greit. Black screen, yes. Mm. I see. Ugh. Okay. That's probably a good thing. So, depending on the weather, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for a walk today. Then go to the bus and then go to work. Walk, work, home. One way or another. Mhm. Okay then. So where was I? Yes, I was gonna get some new. I'm gonna get a new body part. And more loot to sell. Oh. Right, this is for armor pieces. No, when it's plus 3, it starts resisting. Right, so another reason to chill down with this game is mostly because it doesn't hurt. To just mess around a bit with it. You can more or less play it with only the keyboard and one-handed. Damn ghost. Oh, maybe I should have kept the magic map. Hang on, webhacks. Stochasm. The elemental scar. Goblet. Gobble. No, wait. Oh, yeah, that's a goblet. So, in fantasy, I have to wonder how does a race very low intelligent race get certain equipment and stuff? I mean, it's convenient how almost every frigging fantasy creature tends to have clothes, even though they seem to not be good enough, even though they're practically running around naked. Never mind, I can't collect the copper block. Healing. And we get open a chest. Then get the treasure map. That is all. That is good. Mm-hmm. A failure putty. Aha. Another map in Valve. Tatami. Yay. Oh, You know, oh yeah, that was not right. Right. Tatami, not futon. Yes. Mm. 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 Okay. The character trait. Grow a new hand. Okay then. So I can wear a new glove. Damn it! How many arm slots are you gonna insist on giving me? Hmm. Hmm. Wanna overcast? No, 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 that her. I ain't gonna heal until it hurts. Though I can. Right. Pair of gloves, rust, of course. I have a lot of evacuation scrolls. Just go, nope, and we're out. Mm. I dropped the door on the floor. Place another statue. You finish dumping. That's one kind of crap. That one is crap. Gonna turn this one into scrap. Oh wait, that one is kind of nice to have around. Mm. Mm. Okay then. So the character just grew another hand. That's not very exciting, but let's see if we can go. God dang it. In the snow, not snow. Mm-hmm. Two clumps of trees next to each other. Where the hell is that? I don't know, but it's only one way to find out, isn't there? There's only one way to figure it out. You take a map and you open it. So, looking for two clumps of trees, and they need to be two huge clumps of trees with some green stuff over and under. Yes. Let me guess, it's on the opposite side of the map, isn't it? Hmm. Do. Hmm. It can only be so many. Places. You know what? I should probably just look up the map of the game. Let's see. But yeah, it is as I expected. Hmm. Hmm. I need to prepare some food, I think. Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh. That looks somewhat correct. So we equip the shovel and boring cave, misty cave, tainted cave, forgotten ruin, tragic forest. Honestly, I liked the forest biomes. It's too difficult to pick. That is a porking problem. Run, run, run as fast as you can. We're going to consume a gingerbread man. Mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Stray cat. Yes, I suppose. Maybe I should make some silver cat balls. Whoa. Hang on, can we just take a rod of? No, I kept at least one shadow. No. Ha ha ha! He exploded in my face. mm, mm. The hot guy in. Yeah, I should have known that he could explode himself. God. Mm. I thought I picked up a material hammer here somewhere. Yes, I did. I'm just a bit blind. Fuck. Mm. 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 Let's see. Go to chest. Nope. Throwing dagger. Spider girdle. Scale cloak. You struck by lightning and died. Yes, I'm wondering why. To be fair, one of the biggest dangers in FA is exploding things that explode. Mm, 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 mm. Right, so then go. Identify all of my stuff. Yes. 500 orens, yes, of course. It means we're just going to sell some random stuff like curse, levitate, teleport, holy whale. Yeah, sure, whatever. Mm, mm. Okay, that one is. Can't even sell it. Carpenter and Cinder as well. Dictation. Boxing glove. Nah. You cannot sell things with the value of one. There we go. And identify staff and it's godly. Even justice. Mm-hmm. Go long sword and whatnot. And of course, today is gonna be a day where things are gonna get a bit colder than yesterday, isn't it? Mm. Mm-hmm. um. Mm-hmm. This is kind of mesmerizingly stupid. I'm no hero, I'm a horse killer. Okay. I'm wondering what he. Okay. Mm, mm. I'm curious about something though. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, Mm. Okay, let's see some. Mm, mm, mm. But yeah, the higher the level of the ruin, the worse the thing you fight. Mm. Golem. Mm-hmm. Damn. King Hermit Crab. Jeez. Mm. Let's see. Grab and throw. Mm. SFR. You see, Hermit Crab has insane. Gonna kill, gonna kill. Mm. 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 Come on. Hey, at least Golem is friendly. I want a Golem.
the room. And the reason you can see detail is because the moon is huge. It's over 3,400 kilometers wide. Even from 240,000 miles away, that's more than enough for modern cameras to resolve surface.
Oh, great. There's a king somewhere around here, isn't there? But I died.
Even AI bots that are trained to detect and differentiate real photographs from CGI are claiming the new NASA images are fake. Well, they aren't, because it isn't a NASA image. It's a fake image, so no wonder AI thought it. In 2026, with the level of realism that CGI to see these images and not be at least a little suspicious if they could possibly Notice how clear the craters, shadows, and subtle textures appear. It looks like the camera is only a few dozen, or at most a few hundred miles away from the moon's surface, being generous. NASA claims, however, that at its nearest, Artemis 2 was never any closer than 4,000 miles away from the moon. Now let's compare that with the following Apollo 11 image from 1969, where the astronauts were supposedly only 60 miles away from the lunar surface. Look at the difference in detail between 60 miles away and 4,000 miles away. Why does everything look far more textured and detailed from 4,000 miles away than it does from 60? Could it be because photo fakery has come a long way since the 60s, and it actually has nothing to do with their supposed distance from the moon? Apollo 11 used 1960s film cameras, incredible for the time, yes, but compared to modern digital sensors, it's not even close. There was lower resolution, more grain, less dynamic range. So yeah, we have visibly less texture. Artemis 2 cameras have modern sensors, high resolution, advanced optics, and of course digital processing. You're seeing more detail not because it's closer, but because the camera is better. And then there's the lighting you'll think of too. Low angle light creates long shadow, which greatly exaggerates surface texture. Change the sun angle and the same surface can look either flat or incredibly detailed. Notice how much more detailed the lighting, shadows, textures, and contrast are on the Artemis moon. Also, as a quick aside, all of these moon craters were supposedly created by meteor impacts hitting the surface. How is it even remotely possible that every single meteor arrives at a straight 90 degrees above the surface of the sun? Every crater is a perfect circle. All of them are long or elongated, as they would have to be if meteors were actually Here's three. Is proving you wrong here, Eric. I don't think I need to say much more. It's one here. Now let's look at this image called a distant crescent of home. Notice first of all the light and how both the sun, earth, and moon appear to be smushed from top to bottom. This is similar to the effect seen during the live stream, when during one section of time, the moon drastically changed shape from a circle to a potato. That's what lens distortion or transmission compression. Live feeds from space, they tend to get heavily compressed. When the base of it drops or the
Why are I doing this to myself? I am not so sure anymore.
2,000 miles away from Earth. Earth's diameter is supposedly 4 times wider than the moon. Visually, in this picture, the moon's diameter is at least 4 times wider than the Earth. Being generous, it actually appears 5 or 6 times. Now, doing the math, 252,000 divided by 40,000 is 6.3, meaning the crew was 6.3 times closer to the moon than the Earth. But for an object that's actually 4 times smaller to appear 4 times larger, the observer must be situated 16 times closer to the smaller object. In this case, however,
Yeah, it's gonna go in here and murder everything.
that is a factor of over 10x discrepancy between the relative size and
totally nonsense. This is about angular size. How big something looks depending on its size and distance. With the moon at that distance in its image, the angular size should be 3.1 degrees. With the Earth, it should be 1.8 degrees. Now, as the Earth's angular size, if we saw it as a full disk, which of course we're not doing so here. So I think it looks like the size that it should be, Eric, don't you?
Just gonna.
4,000 miles from the lunar surface and approximately 243,000 miles away from Earth. So compared to the last image, where the clue was 252,000 miles away from Earth, here the clue is only 9,000 miles closer to Earth than in that image. That is a factor of approximately 4%, meaning the size of the Earth should only change a maximum of 4% between the two pictures. In reality, however, and you can measure this for yourself with a ruler and the original NASA.gov images, the Earth changes size a factor of over 1,000%.
It was so cool to be able to go to the moon.
1,000% larger. Eric's not understanding here that in the Earthset photo, they zoomed in. It really is quite incredible, isn't it? There was a similar size discrepancy in the images sent from Artemis, claimed to be halfway to the moon. During their lifetime, they stated they were halfway to the moon, and yet the moon appeared much smaller than it does on Earth. What is up, my friends, and welcome to upgrade rushing every single game in the tournament, but this time I'm going to do the extreme version. You guys might have seen the video from 2 weeks ago where I did this. I don't remember every single build I did, but it was just normal upgrade rushes, right? Today, I'm going to be doing the super extreme version every single game and see if it works. Now we're playing in Panthers in game number 1. Panthers is a Grandmaster Baron. Very cool guy, actually. He helped me with a bunch of mods. I don't know if you guys remember Necromancy Starter 2 that I made at some point. He helped me with that mod and a bunch of other stuff as well. Very nice guy. Does a lot for Starter 2. Also hosts his own tournaments on a specific balance mod, I believe, which is very cool. But unfortunately for us, he is a Grandmaster Baron, and that is definitely going to be the hardest matchup to do this freaking extreme upgrade rush in, because I mean, you can imagine if we hit actually with like a Reaper early on, it's going to be pretty tough already. But we're playing on map map. So what if you want to play
Thick Soam of Bane and a Cure Mutation. Okay then.
Guess what? This is from the Team Liquid map contest. A couple of these maps are going to go into ladder. I don't know how they do the ladder up exactly these days, because sometimes they change all the maps, sometimes they just change like 4. I prefer it when they change all the maps just because it's fun and keeps it fresh, right? But I have no idea whether we're going to see this map on the ladder at some point, but it is going to be played in this tournament. Let's see. I guess it's quite high to be a Reaper clip, but I guess that's where it is. It's really hard to see, but it's right here, I guess. Is that the only one? Maybe here as well. Okay. I don't think he's going to scout now. Actually, he might, because he can see when his barracks is being built, right? He can see that mine is way too late. But is he going to scout? I mean, it's such a weird thing. Maybe he just assumes it's gas first or something. I think he might be aware. I kind of wonder what spray I have, actually. Oh, the solid wall. That is actually a pretty good combo right there. All right, so we're going to go for the upward rush into the expand. Very risky here, but this will
With a magical map.
He's going to find the eBay dive and he's going to find something. I feel like when people see that, they're always like, oh no, this freaking guy. Right, yeah, I'm more excited being attacked than him typing anything, but still. Let's see, but actually, yeah.
Nope. I just shows the borders. Okay. Okay, fine. Evacuation.
Now, when is a good timing to attack with +1 Reapers? That is a really good question. I don't know the answer to it. Reapers? Well, maybe I should wait for the third one because it's already started, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Oh, that's another Reaper clip. Gonna out-micro him. That was actually a really good start to that fight for me, for sure. He might take him out. I mean, I have to wait for +1, else it's just stupid, right? If I don't wait for +1, he's probably a little bit of a miniature disaster. He's not gonna expect a +1 on this, so my Reapers are gonna be way too strong. Look at that! He's probably like, what? Why did my Reaper just die? Look, I think even this Reaper's gonna pop off. There we go. We picked another one. That's gonna die as well. We threw this one back. Barely couldn't save that one. But obviously going to be a successful defense. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go for a third CC. I mean, he must have realized, of course, that +1 finished. I think what probably happened there actually
Wait.
is that
Ooh.
he clicked on my Reaper.
Ooh, the Informer can open a treasure chest for me, you say?
Committed the second time if he saw the +1.
Hmm.
What the hell, guys? It's not an easy choice.
Try me. Yeah. Hmm.
He does have a base. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make pinch. That is for sure. Can I kill this one with +1? I feel like it's kind of close. Okay, so his build is also kind of crazy. I need my armory soon PM. I think I actually need to make my gas as well. Let's see, I think he might not be camping this anymore, so it looks like he's not. SCVs are being pulled. Okay, let me make some bunkers on the high ground over here. Because I think I'll use that one as a fake. That's going to be a fake bunker on the low ground. Maybe I should put the units inside, actually. Just so he fully commits instead of running. Actually, that's a good idea, I think. Just so he fully commits to it instead of running past, you know? I think that is the right idea. Now, behind this, obviously, we have to start our armory so we can get +2 attack. It's very necessary in these situations. Yeah, I think these bugs are going to finish, yeah, especially with this.
You're an informant.
Well, he scouted me leaving, so that's not a good idea. Now, I'm not sure if he's still going to.
You meat in the bone and then counter spice.
I'm sure it's going to be a massive attack, right?
Then we're gonna eat it.
I mean, it really should have arrived by now. That's the weird part.
Then eat it. Okay, let's see. What I was thinking. I just burn through these books.
Marines on the left side there. I'm going to send one Marine just so I can check. And then obviously we're going to be starting my 2-2 behind this. Let's see. Combat shield just finished. I think I saw that. Or maybe it was already finished and it just was an optical illusion. Or maybe it was just an illusion to me. Anyway, in the middle of us getting semi-alert, we have just managed to start 2-2. So that is great news. At this point, I'm going to end up having 3-3 Marines without even combat. I mean, that's also never had something like that before. I think I might go.
I'm gonna dump this. A gene. Where didn't I have a gene here? Yeah.
Randomly high level that you're.
Oh wait, it's an inferior of a hermit crab.
If you have to choose between combat shield or stim when you're fighting in marine tank, combat shield is usually better. But that really only goes if you are fighting head on. Because if you stim, your units have 35 health. With combat shield and no stim, they have 55. And it's actually, your units are better. And I'm also going to have really good upgrades, so this could be a masterful play, but also be really tough. But if I go for combat shield first, I also don't need. Actually, I kind of want to. I'm afraid that he's going to drop here at some point and kill my E-base. That's what I'm afraid of mostly. Yeah, I don't have to get my medevacs fast, by the way. That is really cool, no? Because I'm not going to stim, and stim is really the main reason why you need medevacs. I mean, obviously, your units also take damage, and it's nice to heal, but stim, like, honestly, you mostly do more damage than to the enemy. It hurts so freaking bad, especially if your army is massive. We get a starboard over here. Now, could we hit a 2-2 stingless combat shield timing? How dumb is that? That is the question. And I'm sure you all are saying it's incredibly dumb, but is that going to stop me? Unlikely. Now let's see. We have 22 seconds left on that.
Let's see how many like currency sort.
If that's his third base, we're actually pretty decent economically here. I didn't think it would look this good. There's a Marine there. I'm a little bit afraid that he's going to stim on top of me. Yeah, he's not going to go for the stim. That's quite smart, actually.
Inundation of shadow. Yeah, whatever. Probably nerfing myself a bit by. Mm.
I guess I need to see this. Okay, I have to see it. What are his upgrades? Well, okay, he does have one. Okay, so he got a reasonably fast one.
Okay, that one is way too heavy.
I hope that that's what happens. I want him to fight this without medevacs, and then we can see. Look. Alright, well. Yeah, I mean, obviously he did have a combat shield as well himself. I
Mm.
like that part, to be honest. In my mind, it was gonna be.
Let's see. So then you start crafting run stuff.
Forget about the part where he had both upgrades, not just one. Okay, good warm-up game, guys. Good warm-up game. Yeah, because we have a lot of tanks, we should be safe. I'm just gonna keep going.
Home ranking. Let's see. What is the home ranking? Oh, even Orphanhagen is higher than my current location. Oh. God damn it. I'm a mistake. Yes. I made a terrible mistake for roughly 30 minutes. Orange Carvano. Why would you attack by your younger sister? I guess. Wait, did it count as a year? Yeah, too. You need 1,000 up front, you say. Mm-hmm. Isn't there a way to where did it go now? Jag kan play the panty, yes. Mm. So we play music and throw stuff in people. So, is it a bit an oxymoron to rob the Thieves Guild? Then fence their goods and just take a karma hit. Mm. Thief Guild. See. Where is Black Market Shopkeeper? So go to the informant. Yes, and see if we can open.
There is a lot of documentation out there about system-based actions, how to get out of certain states, how to promote the likelihood in certain states, how power play can affect things, and how all of these intricacies come together. But I found myself totally confused by them because, again, I didn't even know how to learn yet, which is hopefully what this video is to do. I'm no VGS expert, so if any of you out there have been doing this for a long time and I've got little details off, be sure to let me know, and I'll probably drop an update in the comments if that happens. With all that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Oh, actually, I really should have mentioned this earlier. The BTS updates once daily, so it's not technically a live stream. It does obviously. And then the weekly pick is a whole other thing. Some stuff changed there. Anyway, bye.
You know, is it a little bit of oxymoron to plunder the Thieves Guild and then sell their stuff? Bum 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 bum. Stolen goods. Yes, I know. Mm. And yeah, whatever. Inside the chest, I suppose. Those are stolen. Yes, yes, yes. Granite stone, healing, get rid of that shit. Get rid of the Voynich manuscript. I'm gonna get rid of Dolchant. The Dolchant, was it? Do you call it? Can sell that one, because it's already contributed to the Mage Guild. My karma has taken a big dip. So I was thinking. What is a Moongate invasion? Oh, okay. Oh, whoa. You can actually do chromatic crazy stuff with the moon gate. Mm. Alright. So what I'm gonna need to do is take care of some bodily matters, look at my food, and yeah. Holy shit. Mm. Ugh. Okay, I found at least one thing. I cannot consume lactose anymore, it seems.
RoboCop from Detroit,
Oh,
or
thank you.
yeah, fan of Detroit, or whenever I think RoboCop, I think Detroit.
Yeah. It's iconic of Detroit for sure.
Okay, so device. Okay, let's just press allow. Okay, so Gabe, we have. So I guess there is some question about what's the terminology. Supposedly Jan is a lawyer. Jan, I implore you to reach out to me on LinkedIn and let me know, because I think the terminology in South Korea is different, isn't it?
It's very different, and it leads to a lot of confusion, like even when I'm talking to other like expert lawyers, because of the way they use certain terminology here. Like the word charge means something completely different, the word count, and the whole concept of of double jeopardy, or the concept of this not even being double jeopardy according to German law, which this is based on. So I don't know where she's a lawyer, but,
I don't think,
or he's a lawyer.
I think a lot of people pretend to be lawyers online and they just don't. It's very sad. I think it's a sad state where everyone pretends to be a lawyer online, but then they don't put their real name and stuff. Like, the one thing I appreciate about you, Gabe, you got your real name out there. You got your company. It's the same as me, right? There's some type of like, I don't know, like you can trust somebody when they put their real name. Like anonymous people, I get why they are anonymous, but there's not that trustability that you would really have, right, in talking to somebody like that. But yeah, so like the whole
Right, and this person talked about layman terms. I mean, layman terms are kind of important for communicating, but these are official terms in Korean law. Retrial is an official term. Second trial is an official term. Things like that. Retrial is actually it refers to something very specific. So in Korean law, there are Korean word equivalents for them, and I don't have them off the top of my head because, as you know, like I admit that my Korean is not great. But as far as like my understanding of the law, yes, retrial refers specifically to the fourth trial, which we're not even like in that territory yet, and there won't be one, I don't think.
Okay, so
But
let's go back. So I haven't been able to talk
Okay.
to you since the 6 month verdict. Were you shocked it was
Yeah.
6 months? I mean, what did you think about that? And were you able to talk to Legal Mindset and Atozi? Were they shocked as well?
Yes.
What was the outcome of?
I think I think everyone was surprised. Yeah, I think everyone was surprised by the amount of time, but I think it also speaks to how the fact that there was an actual conviction to prison and an actual sentence without a suspended sentence, that is actually the uh, the main point. Like no matter what, like even if everything were to end now, 6 months in prison, I don't think it'll do much for Johnny Somali, but it will not be a fun time. It is a punishment. It is a loss.
You wish to
There's no way
die?
that he can call,
Okay, then.
There's no way anybody can call 6 months in prison with labor a win.
So I saw you sent a video of you, Legal Mindset, Atozi. Did they have
Yeah.
anything to say about it? Were they shocked as well? Like, what was their like opinion? The same opinion as yours? It was too short.
I think initially they were more optimistic about the fact that, and this is rightfully so, it was not a suspended sentence. He was immediately detained. He was immediately arrested and brought to detention, awaiting appeal, and that was the ultimate result that we wanted to see, even if it were for 1 month.
Oh,
which
yeah.
was, frankly,
Of
1
course,
month,
the
6
cab's
months,
also
it doesn't make much of a
tired.
difference because the appeals would have happened and it would have gone on for a long time anyway.
So talking about, so he actually had. So I was reading your description. He had a backpack on. Did they take away his
Yes.
backpack? What happened
Isn't
to the
it
backpack?
crazy how the Isn't it crazy how the backpack is a theme? Do you remember
Yeah,
the
no,
last
you
time I
told me.
gave
Yeah,
you that
you told
example?
me. Yeah.
And it came up again. It happened again.
They took his
And
backpack.
I will tell you, he left his backpack
Oh no.
in his seat in the courtroom, in
no.
the audience gallery, rather than bring it up as to the defendant stand, which tells me he did not think he was going to go to prison.
But what happened to the backpack? Did like somebody take it? Was like so he just left it there, right?
He went into the other room without the backpack, and I think we left. But I'm pretty sure at one point he understood what was going on, or semi-understood, and told them to bring his backpack, and they would have gone out and collected it.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of funny. Did his mom show up? I don't think she did, right?
She did not, and I think I have another theory now, and you know I'm not always right with my theories, right? But I have another theory. I think she wanted to come. And I think he told her, no, don't worry, I'm going to be home soon.
Do you think she actually ever went to South Korea? Or was she always... No, she never went to South Korea. So he was just...
But we do know she...
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah, we do know she offered to go visit him while he was in Japan, and he said no. So I'm thinking the same thing happened here. Like, she has the means and she has the will to come visit, but... like that, it's again just a theory, but we do know that she wasn't there. And if she had come here, I think she would have been there on the day of trial.
Yeah, of course. So there was 40 people there.
Yeah.
News anchors
Yes.
and then you guys. Was there any other like American YouTubers or influencers like outside of Legal Mindset and Tozy? Was there any other content creators there?
There was Kong. There was Kong Jungmin, who came from Twitter, who has quite a following, and he's been covering this. And I think he had never been in court before. He didn't know anything about legal stuff, but he acclimated himself pretty quickly. And he gave the first statement actually when we were outside talking to the press. And I think he did a good job. He just basically celebrated the fact that there was this conviction, regardless of how much time it was. Of course, you know, I'm of the other view. I was immediately, like me personally, I was worried about the 6 months, but I also did appreciate that this needed to be pointed out, because it is not easy to get somebody convicted on their first offense and actually put in prison.
So both the prosecutor.
That's what he spoke about.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gabe. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and there was another guy who was a professor from somewhere like from Suwon area. Also, and there was Dr. Ulrich, of course, who's always there, who I told you about, who does a really good job of like reporting, like capturing the feel of the room. Like even if you only talk to him, you talk to him and you feel like you're in the room. So he does a really good job of describing that. So those are the others that were there. There were also 7 or 8 out of those 40, 7 or 8 or so were other defendants, some of whom went on the bus with Johnny, for sure.
Was there any like murder?
Couple that do a lot of damage.
From
Did you
the
know
other
that?
defendants, were there any like
No.
serious crimes?
There could have been, but if there were, they would have been behind the scenes because there would be a detained.
Okay.
If you're in there for something like murder, you're detained during. Like it's not like O.J. Simpson who got to roam free while he was on trial for murder, right? If you're on trial for something like that, you're detained. So those people would have been brought out in their like prisoner garb, like from the same door that Johnny walked out of, they would have walked in from that door. Yeah, and then they would most likely walk right. Yeah, they would walk right back out. So I don't know, but they did. I do think they consciously made the choice to announce Johnny's sentencing first.
Oh, okay. So they were aware of the press, yeah, and stuff. So
I think they must have been, because out of 20 or so, like we looked at the list, there were more than 20 that were being sentenced. That include about 8 defendants who were in the room. And by the way, the moment they brought Johnny out, like I started packing my backpack up. Yep. Everybody else got up. They just started like it just like whoosh, and the defendants, the other defendants that were there, they had no idea what was going on. They just looked around like suddenly everybody was leaving the room.
Oh, they thought like Johnny was like celebrity or something. He was like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
A celebrity. So my understanding is Johnny has appealed it. So it's 6 months, right? The appeal is 6 months. The prosecutor has also appealed it. What is going on? Can you give a little bit more insight of like what is going? Do we know? So I have this document from you. I don't know. Can I share this document with in Discord?
Yeah,
or,
sure.
So so I sent the document to Goosey, and we can share in Discord. Can you explain what you think is going to happen now that the prosecutor and Johnny have
I'm just going to
appealed?
read a book that I have no knowledge of.
It was widely predicted that Johnny would appeal, and it was widely hoped that the prosecutor would appeal. So we did not take that granted at all, and that is why this press release exists, because we just wanted to spread the word about what was going on and how we do consider this even though we do even like Bong Bong's lawyer, we appreciate the conviction, no suspended sentence, immediate detention. Those are all things to appreciate, right? And they're serious things. They're not things to celebrate. They're things just to appreciate. But 6 months is too short, and I point out many of the reasons in this document here. But yeah, I think a lot of people had the immediate reaction of oh yes, this is great, and celebrating. My immediate reaction was the judge himself, when he made the sentencing, when he was giving his reasoning for the sentencing, he gave so many reasons for something higher than this and much closer to 3 years.
But then why?
Because he gave.
Why do you think the judge? Yeah, like it looked like he would get 3 years. Took it to the judge, and why do you think they weren't so lenient on him then? If that was the case. Like, what is the what's the disconnect here? I guess.
Oh, okay. If they have lamina så här.
Like in this document that you've seen, I compare this with many other sentencing judgments, many other rulings.
Yeah, there's actually
and it makes no sense.
A really cool bar graph that you made here, John Doe, and then it actually. So yeah, if we could have this document put into our files.
Piss
you
off!
have the I Doe,
I am trying to.
It's like a year or more.
Yeah, to the next glorious monster. I need to reclaim my gold.
Johnny has 4. He had 2 obstruction of business. He had 2 Network Act violations. And Network Act, I would say it depends on the situation, but most cases are way less serious even than obstruction of business.
Well, what is a Network Act? Like, what's an example of that?
The Network Act is its own law, like separate from the Criminal Act, that was created just to keep up with the times and basically covers cybercrime.
Oh,
so it covers the very smallest things. It could be like, oh, yeah, exactly. It could be like, oh, this guy checked my email and like found some private information and leaked it.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Or it could be some like very serious like violations of leaking people's information for money. So the vast majority of the time, the Network Act laws do not lead to prison. It's usually a fine that could be like $500.
Okay, so it's not too serious.
Like $200. Yeah, Network Act is usually not too serious. In this particular case, I think like in the case of this example, there's no way that it's more serious than those 2 obstruction of business. But Johnny has 4 obstruction of business.
Yep. And he's got.
And he has 2 minor crimes, which the minor crimes, by the way, the only reason the minor crimes exist in this trial are to aggravate the other crimes, because the punishment for minor crimes is, exactly in keeping with the name, minor. It's minor crimes, right? So you have those, but in addition to that,
talking about
you have
the body.
2 deep fake charges,
Mm.
which are serious, very serious under Korean law. And with other examples of deepfake, first of all, it's always prison, always results in prison, and it's usually like 2 years, 1 year, 3 years. Those are the examples that we could find. We could find many examples of obstruction of business getting a fine.
Yeah,
but the fine would.
if you look at this, right, so John Doe, is he a South Korean citizen?
He is a U.S. citizen.
Oh, he's a U.S. citizen. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's specifically like why, like, in addition to the fact that there are some similar but way lesser crimes and no sexual crimes, right? In his case, he also happens to be a United States citizen.
Wow. Okay. So, and you know who John Doe is? Is it like an influencer or just like a random dude?
Random dude. I was in the room for this one as well. I was actually in the room for this one, which is why this case came to mind.
Yeah, this is so interesting. So Ramses, like, if we could say like anything, he's out there. He's encouraging other people to do it, right? As opposed to John Doe, who's just kind of doing it because I guess whatever reason, right? I would think the red dots, the Violence Act violation would be much more extreme. Was there any other like did Johnny just get a good judge? I guess that's probably the only thing I can think of here.
I think we're never gonna know the whole thing, the whole truth. Like, I did give a theory. I think actually, I'm not. Oh, I was on a Tozy's stream when I gave this theory. It's just a theory. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying it's possible. Is that this particular judge was like, okay, this guy needs to do serious time. I don't want to be the one to decide how much, so I'm going to give him the absolute minimum and guarantee that there will be appeals, kick the can down the road so somebody else makes that decision.
And that will be the 3 judges, right?
Yeah, that would be the 3 judges, panel of 3 judges. He's like, look, I'm gonna give the minimum. I'm gonna make sure that this goes to appeal, and these other 3 guys can make the decision, so it's not on me. Which that was just like a complete theory. But I'll tell you another thing. We were in before
Blasensitive drittsystem.
We were in that courtroom.
Jag ska få in
and how he operates and how he sentences people. And one of the most serious cases we saw was somebody who got in a fight and stabbed another person. That person is now paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's what was the sentencing on that? Light, medium, heavy?
I mean, what do you think? Like something like that should,
Obviously, 10 years. 10 years, I would guess. I mean, that's life changing.
He got 1.5 years.
Wow. He got a year and a half.
You destroy somebody else's life. And that was the one moment where I sort of got worried. I was like,
wow.
Because that is more serious than what Johnny did.
Right.
That is more serious. Like, we do admit that there's this spectrum. Like, when Johnny compares and says, oh, there are murderers out there, there are rapists.
Right, yeah.
Right? Oh, yes, we know that, but we're talking about you and what you did and what the fair punishment for what you did is, right?
Yeah, at that point, Johnny was not getting free years. Like, if the judge is ruling, hey, you stabbed somebody and you paralyze them for life, you get 1.5 years. I don't think at that point, like, anybody is thinking, oh, Johnny's going to get 3 years, right, from the same judge.
I got worried right there. I mean, I was concerned because I also saw this person sitting there on the stand, and he was not like greatly behaved. He was not. He
wasn't like apologetic, mitigate. Like, oh, I'm sad. Like. Oh.
He was not giving off that. He was not giving off that vibe at all.
Jeez.
And he got 1.5 years.
Jeez. So yeah. I think at that point, there's nowhere the same judge can give Johnny double the time, right?
Honestly, I repressed that memory. I can be in denial sometimes, so I sort of repressed that memory. But Dr. Ulrich is actually the one who brought that up again, that we saw that happen.
Yeah, that's really important. That's really important.
That's also true.
Okay, so looking at this
That's also
graphic phase,
Yeah, this is Johnny Zavali, dude. Has been a bad little boy. Being a nuisance streamer, and he's getting punished. And I say, yes! Arrest him and throw away the key. Make him a symbol of what you're not supposed to do in another country or in any country. Oh yeah, I should probably update the software as well. Ah. I need this scratch. Oh yeah, I want to hear a joke.
Testing their stainless steel kitchenware at home. Many netizens have used heavy metal testing liquids on their pots, spoons, bowls, and plates, only to find that the liquids quickly turn red, confirming that the manganese content is dangerously high. The testing liquid reacts with high manganese steel, while real food-grade 304 and 316 stainless steel show no reaction.
我们身边绝大多数人大概率每天都在慢性服毒。
Most people around us are slowly poisoning themselves every day, just like with the recent revelations about food-grade stainless steel. Food-grade stainless steel doesn't mean 304 stainless steel. Let me tell you that. What they're really using is high manganese steel, which is cheaper than stainless steel, even much cheaper than 316 stainless steel. They gamble on the fact that you won't test it. There's a simple way to check. Use a reagent. It's cheap. If you want to go all out, you can use a metal gun, but those are expensive, costing 6 figures for a single gun. Businesses count on you either wanting to save a little or not bothering to check, and no one's going to hold them accountable for this. The standard for food-grade stainless steel in our country is pretty low. It's not the same as 304 stainless steel. A lot of businesses confuse the two. If you find signs of rust on your stainless steel kitchenware, throw it out immediately. The manganese leaching out is very harmful to your body. Remember, this could save your life.
In their comments, some people are starting to trust big foreign brands. They say Muji, Sam's Club. These foreign brand stainless steel can be trusted. Because so many people are watching these big brands for counterfeits, if they mislabel something, they'll be caught. Others, after testing it themselves, are completely disappointed. You're absolutely right. I just went through this last night. I tested a set of Supor spoons, and the reagent turned red. I contacted customer service. and they all said that it was food-grade stainless steel, but they didn't mention 304 or 316, just food grade. They kept telling me to get it tested at a professional institution. It's garbage. Super. I'm sure everyone has this brand at home,
Det
but
inte
it's
var jag
terrible.
värsta
Some people are already resigned and indifferent. It doesn't matter anymore. With takeout, snacks, fruits, and vegetables, everything's processed with technology. One more utensil won't make a difference, just getting by. The exposure of these low-quality stainless steel kitchenware came after a poisoning incident at a stray dog rescue center. The center, Anra Nest in Anhui, had bought a commercial stainless steel cooking pot online in 2025. They used it to prepare meals for dogs. After about 50 days of use, the dogs began showing abnormal symptoms and some started dying. By late January to February 2026, the center's manager noticed that nearly 88 dogs showed symptoms such as lethargy, liver and kidney damage, and kidney failure. 2 dogs had already died, with many others poisoned. Initially, the manager suspected food poisoning or ingredient issues and conducted investigations for several months. He checked everything from ingredients and water sources to surveillance footage. By around March 2026, the problem was traced back to the cooking pot. After cutting off a piece of the pot and sending it for testing, it was discovered that the pot was made of low-quality stainless steel, possibly recycled from industrial waste. The pot's heavy metal content was found to be hundreds to thousands of times above the standard, with nickel, chromium, mercury, arsenic, and even radioactive substances present, causing chronic poisoning. Unfortunately, after the video was posted, the center did not receive any apology or compensation from the manufacturer. Instead, they feared retaliation and had to hurriedly relocate with nearly 100 stray dogs. Using low-quality stainless steel pots to cook food at high temperatures causes heavy metals to leach into the dog food. Dogs with weaker kidney metabolism accumulate toxins more easily. While humans have stronger metabolism, using similar cookware, bowls, and spoons for every meal can still result in a dangerous cumulative effect. These low-quality pots are not only found in household kitchens, but are also widely used in factory cafeterias, schools, restaurants, and snack shops, affecting nearly every person in the country. The incident caused a stir, making people realize that even the toughest stainless steel could be a weak link. On Chinese social media, many people have begun testing their own stainless steel kitchenware.
这把勺子它有毒到什么程度？这是超级高锰钢。
How toxic is this spoon? It's made of super high manganese steel. Look, as soon as the reagent drops, it starts turning red. This is extremely high manganese steel, with a lot of manganese. In the comments, netizens shared that their own kitchenware is also high manganese steel. My staircase railing is genuine stainless steel, but I didn't expect my spoon to be high manganese steel. Another person said, I bought a fish grill from Pinduoduo, advertised as 316 stainless steel, and the picture even had a stamp of 316 steel. But when I received it, there was no stamp, and the reagent turned red. It's so scary. Real food-grade 304 stainless steel contains higher nickel content, which gives it a good corrosion resistance and prevents harmful substances from being released. In contrast, counterfeit products are often made from high manganese steel or recycled scrap iron. These low-quality products look identical to the genuine ones, with some even intentionally labeled with 304 or 316, or national standard marks to deceive customers. A vlogger shared their experience buying several stainless steel products from the same store.
我是意料之中有一部分是不合格的，但是我没有想到的是什么呢？是这个盆。
I expected some of them to be unqualified, but what surprised me were these 2 bowls. These 2, bought on the same day from the same store, don't meet the standards. I bought 4 in total, and only 1 was up to snuff. It's really strange. I have to say, the Japanese brand Muji, although expensive, is at least safe. This spoon is from their store, as well as the one I'm holding and the ones in the dishwasher. Now, I basically only buy from them. But before I threw these away, I tested them again. Most of the items at home are not up to standard, and now the only ones that are the ones I bought from Muji. Everything else isn't. It's outrageous. In the comments section, some people expressed anger, sarcasm, and deep disappointment. Are they treating us like this just because we're Chinese? Only when our lives are at risk will we let go of patriotic sentiment. Chinese people only cheat other Chinese. People are starting to look toward bigger markets, and more focused reviews of e-commerce platforms are appearing. Netizens' tests show that a high percentage of stainless steel products sold online are counterfeit.
If I had to pick the most counterfeit product category,
Wait.
I'd choose stainless steel bowls. This is the market where bad
Ah,
products have
no,
driven
put
out the
it
good ones the most thoroughly. Genuine,
down.
high-quality items are actually harder to sell.
Wait.
All of these are top sellers on the ranking charts, and almost all of them are fake. This one has sold 149,000 units, and it's labeled as 316 stainless steel, but after testing with a metal analyzer gun, it turned out to be 201 high manganese steel with a manganese content of 10.3. They figure, since they're faking it, why not go all the way and label it as 316? This one has sold 41,000 units, and it's a typical high manganese steel with a manganese content of 9.30, and it doesn't even have a steel stamp. This link has sold 145,000 units, and it's made of 304 material. But this link is openly labeling and selling both 201 and 304 separately. This one also has no steel stamp, with sales of 40,000 units, and tests show it's 201 high manganese steel with a manganese content of 8.91. This one has sold 105,000 units, and it's made of 304 material. If a product doesn't even dare to label the material grade and just says stainless steel, it's likely problematic. After testing, it was found to be high manganese steel with a manganese content of 10.61.
After the test results were exposed, they further confirmed what many consumers had suspected. The problem wasn't isolated, but rather widespread. As the information continued to spread, the discussions in the comments shifted from individual complaints to questioning the entire sales environment. One person said, "Before, when fake goods were sold in physical stores, you could report the store and it would probably be shut down. Now these online stores selling fake goods don't face any responsibility." Since the influencer started testing stainless steel, the sellers of stainless steel I previously bought from have changed the material label from 304 to 201. Who would know? It's like the sky is falling. I only realized this because I was afraid of buying high manganese steel, so I carefully checked the product details, the test report, and the price of 304 stainless steel before I bought. Let me explain. A ton of 201 steel costs around 7,000 to 8,000 yuan. 304 steel costs about 14,000 yuan
Stop
per
there,
ton,
criminal.
and 316 steel costs about 22,000 yuan per ton. What does this mean? A 50-gram 304 stainless steel spoon without labor costs would only cost about 0.7 yuan for material. Including labor, transportation, and all other costs, it's under 4 yuan. But some unscrupulous sellers dare to sell a 201 steel spoon for 10 yuan. From the feedback of netizens, it's clear that consumer dissatisfaction stems not only from the products themselves, but also from issues with sales channels and pricing systems. The cost of the products and their selling prices are seriously mismatched, and substituting with inferior goods has become an easy way for sellers to maximize profits. Because of this, the discussion about the issue has escalated from market chaos to a systemic level.
Hector. Alright, you know what? Where did I put the pen? I realize I've been a bit stupid. If I'm gonna make something grey, why prime it? It is grey in the first place. Oh yeah, to make it a bit more lively.
His name is Korn, and we are going to chat about this artist that got called out in 2024 for scamming an abhorrent amount of people, and they have not changed. And honestly, I didn't expect them to. So this very first tweet is by Vey, who goes by the handle Vampy on Twitter. I'm like trying to pronounce the E in their name, sorry. And Vey writes, calmed in July 2023, got this in June 2024. Haven't heard anything since. 1K USD down the drain. I tried to be patient, but I'm sick to my stomach knowing at least 10 plus other people got scammed in the same way. This is Neon Beats if it wasn't obvious. I am tired of being quiet. And look at this art piece. This is so pretty and so cute, but holy shit, waiting almost an entire year for this is insane. And then here are the DMs of Neon Beat ghosting Vampy. Here we have June 24th, 2024. Vampy is sending a little cat emo, kind of like checking in. Now we're on August 11th, 2024. Vampy writes, hey Neon, will I ever get this piece back? Now we're on August 27th, 2024. Hey Neon, I'd really appreciate a response. I feel kind of left in the dark and I've been as nice as possible about this commission, but I'm a little disappointed. You did not end up getting it done before debut after saying you would, so I'm just confused and not sure how to navigate this. Now, December 8th, 2024, Vampy in Discord messages Neon again. Hey Neon, could I kindly just ask you to refund me half please since you have completed it? Don't worry about finishing it.
No.
For my money and I feel robbed. I want this to be over. It's been too long. You ghosted me for almost half a year. And again, not only did Vey get ghosted for half a year, it took an entire year to get a progress update piece, you know? Like, this is still not completed. This is not rendered yet, right? These are all the flats with some gradients on it. And this took a year, mind you. Again, 4 characters, right? It is time consuming to make 4 characters, but 1 entire year to not even get the finished piece yet is crazy. And again, Vey commissioned them July 2023. All of this is in response, actually, to this tweet that I think their name is Scoo-chan. And they wrote, what would you do if an artist you commission for $1,000 scams you and never finishes their work despite giving them more than a year's time to do it? Even if you manage to talk to them, they just keep gaslighting you that they'll finish it tonight, but that night never happens. And this they posted on January 21st, 2025. And Fiwi says, when you find the answer, I would love to know too. And Scoo-chan says, I don't think it'll be a happy ending. And Mystic Lights writes, it feels so scary commissioning art sometimes because of this. And then Scoo-chan put out a post writing, at this point, there are so many people who are scammed by him, we could make a Shane Dawson style documentary about it on YouTube. Now again, they are very, very likely alluding to Neon Beats, the same person that they commissioned. And speaking of the stuff that happened in the past, oh, what did you know? This guy got massively called out in February 2024 for being a scammer. And it is extensive. So this was the thread that kind of cracked everything open. This was posted February 3rd, 2024 by Twitter user Demi, who goes by the Twitter handle Demenishki. Hopefully I'm reading that right. Demi's thread starts, do not commission Neon Beat. He's ghosting yet refusing people's refunds after not doing people's commissions after months or even years. Yet he still accepts more and more work even if he has a line of people waiting. So this is the attached screenshot of their Twitter profile. Remember, this was a year ago, so things might have changed, right? But their handle is Neon Beats. And as you can see here, they are the illustrator of Vebe. If you guys don't know who Vebe is, they are a large and popular VTuber, but this is where Neon Beat got a lot of credibility for them as an artist, because they are the artist to a large creator. And a lot of times, if you see artists who are artists for larger creators, they've somewhat been socially vouched for, right? Because they're an artist for such a large creator, and the large creator has posted about the artwork, that surely should mean this person is a credible artist that would deliver on your commission, right? Wrong. And again, don't send hate to Neon Beat. They do need to be delivering on your artwork or sending refunds though, but this is not to like send hate or anything. And also, this is not Vebe's fault. It's also not the fault of people who have commissioned him. Because on paper, prior to everything cracking open in like early 2024, he seemed like a pretty reputable artist. It makes sense that he seems like a credible artist due to the fact that he has a lot of followers, he has illustrated for large creators, so surely he would be reputable. So on paper, I can completely see why everybody who's commissioned him thought they were going to get what they paid for. And because again, typically you don't often assume that you're going to get scammed by an artist, especially if they have a lot of followers. So in the thread, there's been stories of them ghosting, and some of the stories have been deleted, but here are some that Demi has linked. So let's go into this, okay? Here we have Aruna Reaver, and this was the quote retweet by Demi. And Aruna writes, I love Neonbeat so much and wish the best for him, but I am truly disappointed that my starting soon screen art was promised to be finished before my debut 3 times, and it did not happen. So I had to commission somebody else to make a rushed one. And I keep receiving false completion deadlines, and now I'm getting no response at all. I just want clear communication. I understand people go through shit, and I'm so willing to wait, but it feels like $600 went down the drain because I'm not getting any responses whatsoever. And when I do, it's, quote, I'm gonna finish by this day, end quote. And the date rolls by with absolutely no message or update at all. If you see this, please, I just want an actual completion deadline that isn't false or a refund. And then Aruna continues, my effing amazing managers, our culture went out of their way to spend that much money just so I could have the starting soon screen I dreamed of. And I was so happy when he said he could finish it. I was told he could finish it by the 3rd of October 2023. It wasn't. I asked, can you finish it by November? And he said yes. It wasn't finished. I asked, can you do it before December 30th? I'm debuting. And he said yes. But I was hesitant, so my managers commissioned another piece as backup. Chris Dasa is effing amazing. I highly recommend him. I see his Twitter post about his poor health issues going on, and I messaged him wishing the best and said I'd wait. And for context, Neon Beats in December of 2023 made a post titled talking about how he's going through some stuff and for people to be patient. But Aruna continues, he messaged me January 17th saying that he can complete it by the 23rd. I haven't received any sketches or responses yet. And again, by the way, please remember that these posts that I'm reading to you from Demi's thread are all in early 2024. So these are all a year ago. I'm just showing you more examples of how this is a repeat behavior of this artist. But Aruna continues, I'm just tired of it, haha. I would say I'm an extremely patient person, but I feel that professionalism is highly important, and receiving these false deadlines and getting my hopes up constantly is tiring. Aruna adds it was actually $650. And then they added this. And to prove that I've been patient, here's basically how every conversation has gone. I just want to know an actual date on when my comm will be finished instead of being ghosted. I'm 100% considerate of people's health and put that above everything else. But like, common professionalism is important as well. Communication is needed. Pics below. And here we have some DMs, okay? And this is started August 16th, 2023. So I was thinking, instead of the OG angle that was shown before, are you able to do something similar to this pose? It's gonna be for my starting soon screen. Neon says, yep, I can do that. And then September 6, 2023, Neon says 1300 if it's commercial, but we can go 650. And Ara shows the payment was successful to Neon Beat. And then on September 25th, 2023, Aruna is asking if any other info is needed. In Ara culture, the manager is asking for follow-ups October 5th. And Neon follows up 2 days later saying, I can complete this within October. And Aruna says, thank you. So now at the very end of October, October 28, 2023, Aruna replies to that message about Neon stating they can complete it in October. And Aruna says, it's getting close to the end of October, which is fine. Do you think you can get it done by the end of November? We plan to use it as the starting soon screen for when I debut and start streaming hopefully in December. So I wanted to ask, thank you so much. 4 days later, Aruna puts up a follow-up, or 5 days later, and Neon says, yes, I'll finish it before the end of November. Thank you for being patient. Aruna so kindly says, no worries, that's totally cool. I want to make sure we have enough time to get it animated. And getting it animated by Keijo88, and Neon has a little pog emoji. Now, in the middle of November, November 14th, Aruna is following up again, and Neon, November 20th, replies, hey, got back, we'll be sending you updates soon, and Aruna is really excited. Now, we're on November 26th, so again, now we're at the end of November,
is
and
really
Aruna's like, hello, do you have
naive,
an estimate date on
yes,
when we'll
isn't
finish?
that
I need
fun?
to plan my debut soon. Mind you, Aruna is being so patient and so kind. I would have been extremely frustrated if the deadline got moved twice already without me even knowing, you know, because they just missed the deadline entirely. No sketch, no updates, nothing sent. But Aruna's being so patient. In the beginning of December, December 6th, Aruna says, hello, saw your post. I want to say, I hope you're doing well, and please be sure to prioritize your health. Neon sends a little hug emoji. And now in January, so this is a year ago now, right? This is now January 5th, 2024. Remember that Aruna had asked for the piece to be done in October, and Neon said they could do it. We are now 3 months beyond the deadline. Again, we have not seen a sketch. We have not even seen any updates like, hey, I'm working. No updates. And Aruna says, hi, I hope you've been well. I just wanted to ask if there's any sort of estimate month for the comm. No rush, just wondering. I hope you had a great New Year and holidays. And again, Aruna is being so kind. I would have been so mad if I had a debut and I asked for it to be done months before my debut because I'm being responsible planning. And the artist said yes and just pushed it back and pushed it back and pushed it back. And then Neon, mind you, Neon 12 days later, responds, hello, I'm sorry my health hasn't been the best, but I'll be back on the 20th and I'll try to finish on the 23rd if that's all right with you. I'm really sorry for the delays. The manager, Aura Culture, says, hello, Neon, sorry about your health and wish you a speedy recovery. Have you already started on the piece? If you haven't, we really don't have a use for that pose anymore since our debut had already passed and previous deadlines were not met. We could do a different piece if possible. 2 days later, January 19th, Aruna follows up on it. And then a week later, Aruna follows up again, no response. Ghosted. But here's what some people had to say. Zaladin writes, I'm sorry, going from 1300 to 650 is suspicious as F. I don't know how you didn't catch that immediately. Again, I don't want you guys blaming the commissioners. Like, it's not their fault, right? It's the fault of the artist who never fucking delivered their shit, nor gave refunds. Anybody who has their prices with little to no negotiation, there's something going on. And Aruna says, that's because I didn't pay for commercial use yet. Feels so bad because like they were literally being so patient, so kind. Oh, and I forgot to add this, but this was Demi's tweet 2 or 3 days before their full thread. And they tweeted art that I commissioned that was never finished or the artist just disappeared. But Demi writes, Neonbeat legit keeps accepting commissions without ever doing them. And he has people on waiting a year or more. Now he's ghosting us, so it is what it is, I guess. So there was another one that has now been deleted, so I can't show this to you. Again, I'm going through the thread from 2024, and then we're gonna go over the 2025 updates, okay? Demi adds, friends have paid $1,000, $500, me, hundreds. Yet he denied somebody's refund, even if he never started it. I fortunately had an update from him August, but then after that, nothing. I love his work, but please, hearing that he's still accepting commissions yet never finishing others after a year or more is insane. So here we have Redacted, where you can see it's a screenshot from PayPal, where PayPal says we received a response from the merchant and we reviewed the information and that we've denied your case for the chargeback. And Redacted says he denied it yet ignored my messages. Sign of life from Neon. He's actually denying people's attempts at charging back. Actually confirmed that he's taking the money and running. And Demi says no
yes,
effing
there
way.
we go.
Here is again DMs between Neonbeat and Demi. So this was August 19th, 2023, where Neon sends a half-finished update over to Demi. So Demi saw some progress with their art piece. Demi says cute. And then nothing, right? August 19, 2023, Neon says, yep, I can paint those over. Demi says, hooray. And then January 10th, 2024. So we are a year ago, right? Demi is bumping it, being like, whatever happened to the art? And then about like 2 weeks later, November 21st,
That's
Demi
not
says,
an
Neon,
artist.
it's been practically
That's
a
like,
year, bro. Here is another
that's
person,
an idiot.
Redacted. And in Twitter DMs, they said, I was kind of too scared to comment in the thread, but he ghosted me too. My wait hasn't been nearly as long as others, but it's been radio silent since I paid him. No updates, nothing. I even reached out last month and got no response. And here you can see October 5th, they paid $1,000. And Redacted says, I'm so sorry this happened to you and so many others. Demi adds, another VTuber and others are coming out the gates. Also, a little birdie told me there's probably 50 plus people who he's pretty much stolen from. And here, these are some DMs between another individual and Demi. And the individual says, tried to make a PayPal claim and obviously it was past the 180 days. So sorry I had to go through this. And by the way, the reference to the 180 days is with PayPal, you have 180 days or 6 months to submit a chargeback claim for a payment. Once we've passed the 180 days, you're not allowed to submit chargebacks anymore within PayPal. You can still do it with your credit card or your bank, depending on what credit card you have, what bank you bank with, but PayPal does not allow that anymore. That's why it's very suspicious when artists take
feels
beyond 6
alien to me
months
when
go and
Americans
deliver any
talk
updates or
about
work, and they take
credit
payment through
cards and I
PayPal.
go
So
like,
in the DMs, Demi says, dude, it's
I
as if
just
he's
have a
using the
debit
180
card.
days things to sincerely steal. Can I have permission to screenshot and share? I'll hide your name. And
Yes,
the
I
individual
don't
says,
really
I talked to somebody else who
buy
recently
things
got
on
the commission from
credit.
him too, and they said they never even sent a work in progress. They just so happened to see him working on it on stream and that he never sent the file to them. He just posted it on Twitter, which is crazy. Yes, of course. And Demi says, what the F? Here's another person who says, hey, just wanted to say that Neon also did that to me. $1,000 down the drain. I thought it was a bit suspicious that he didn't have a TOS or anything, but trusted him since he was a big artist in the sphere. I haven't heard from him since July when I asked him if he ever got the money I sent him since he never confirmed it after I sent it. In November, I asked for an update and I still haven't heard back. Right before you made your first post about art you haven't received, I actually just messaged him again, but still no response. Demi added, I know there's a lot of VTubers who are too scared to share their experience, especially when it's such a big artist. If you also got auto-declined by waiting on him over 180 days, here's how you can dispute it. Here's somebody stating that their dispute got auto-declined. If you don't mind later, would you show me how to dispute it? And Demi says, I got you. Go here, click the closed case. There should be a thing to click that says reopen to file an appeal. And then Demi Demi added, I have permission to leak, but holy F, this is not including comms he accepted privately. The list is going on and on. This one was crazy. So again, if you guys don't know, this is Trello. This is a place where artists will typically update about art. So they'll update on the progress. So we can see here, it says waitlist or paid list, currently in progress and completed. And look at the waitlist, okay? Just look, this is insane. So you can see Demi is here. There are so many people on this waitlist. Again, this is from 2024. Things could have changed between then and now. I'm very likely to believe nothing has changed. Here we can see Scoo-chan. Remember the VTuber whose post we read earlier? Vampy Collage? We also read Vampy's post earlier. That's what I'm saying, that I don't think anything has changed because this was Neon Beats' commission list, his Trello board from 2024, early 2024. And these people still haven't received their art. Vampy is still at 1K for that collage they've ever received. And there's so many other people on here as well. So many. Big creator, small creator. Nobody is spared because Neon Beats ghosted everyone, basically. Demi adds, each comm is worth around $1,000. This is probably $50,000 plus that has not been completed. He's a fucking thief. Again, this was 2024. Demi continues, I'm so sorry that this post is so messy. So many people are sharing their stories out the floodgates. I thought maybe it was the classic. Took too many comms, but no. Neon Beat is an actual thief who stole thousands of dollars out of VTubers. Tens of thousands of dollars, actually. And Demi adds, this post is literally saving people thousands of dollars out of getting scammed. Also, I've been informed that the list may have been edited or a lot of people are missing. Guess you were just a money bag to him and he didn't even bother to put you on the list. Which I'll also say, if an artist has a Trello board and they don't add you to the Trello board, that's kind of fucking crazy. And here's another Twitter message from another individual and it reads, hi, please leave me anonymous, but I reached out for commission very recently, last month, and he replied to me stating he was open. It seems like he's only responding to new people who want to commission him. And here's some proof. Demi says, yeah, literally same stuff to other people. Holy f, I'm so glad this is so recent. Thank God he didn't go through with it. And then here's the email. You can see Neon Beats, hello, redacted. For my rates, I charge $500 to $800 for a single full illustration and $1,000 to $1,500 for collages. I love how simple and memorable your design is. Let me know what you think and if you'd like to proceed. Have a great day and I look forward to hearing from you. So again, he was actively engaging in trying to get commissions when he owes so many people artwork. Demi adds 3+ years. Holy f. So here's some conversations between a redacted individual and another person named V. So the redacted says some of these bigger people might be able to get him to finish the work, but I don't know. Also, that isn't the full comm list, by the way. And V says, I kind of figured. Redacted says, cause like Ramen is not on that. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce their name. Neither are the OG community members that have been waiting 3+ years. Or anybody that was accepted after we started that list, or people he kept from us. Demi writes, this isn't the normal artist who accidentally or didn't realize the amount of work they accepted. This is a scammer. The scary thing is he used how big he is as an artist for people to keep waiting. He DMs people that he'd love for you to commission him. I've been told he uses it to flirt with VTubers, but I'll let that be for them to decide to share that for themselves. He has stolen thousands. Used his status to steal from people. Kept saying he'll work in it soon. Ignored client deadlines and gave false promises. Abused PayPal's 180-day rule to auto-win the refund cases. This isn't a post for you to hate him. This is a post to save others from being scammed and for people to get their money back. Neon Beat showing that it's just a laughing matter that people have been waiting for years. This is from 2022. This one, in my opinion, is disgusting. So Redacted says, got any comms more than a year besides me? And this is, again, September 8, 2022. Neon Beat says, going 3 years, yeah. Redacted says, LMAO, wait, really? And Neon says, yeah. Redacted says, how the client feeling? And Neon says, impatient, like, hey man, it's been 2 years. I'm actually getting children now, LMAO. Here he is laughing about how long people have been waiting for artwork they've paid him for. He's basically like outwards mocking the people that he's scamming. I don't know how you can sleep at night knowing this, you know? I would be like,
figure out where he
rolling over
is
my
and
grave
just going
with
there.
regret and
Actually
guilt.
just
If I
kick
owe
his
people
teeth in.
tens
But
of
it
thousands
doesn't
of
usually.
dollars over the course of years, and he's just out here laughing about it. Like, no shit, they're impatient because you're taking so fucking long with zero intention to do the artwork. And here were some other people who commented back in 2024 about their experience with Neon Beats. They could have received or not received the artwork because this was all, remember, from a year ago. So here we have Juni Kodama writing, and I just want to thank you for this post. I commissioned him in October, therefore standing a chance of getting my money back. I cannot believe the amount of people on this list. I owe you. Smidgions writes, he is so creepy seeing him randomly show up in smaller VTuber streams and talking about blowing their backs out after following 5 minutes prior. Here we have Mina Kowolf writing, commissioned them back in July for my 1-year anniversary and was supposed to have a piece of art made, but alas, nothing. Still just silence. I made a whole ass video ranting about how many times I've been scammed and how unfortunate it is that there is such a rise in scammers in the VTuber space. Yeah, this is all the same guy, by the way. This is all the same guy. There's more. And
I
yep,
should
here
have
we
just
have 39
started
that
drawing
writing,
these
incredibly disappointing. And
easy
Kiatorin
images of
says,
VTubers,
and this was
maybe.
again February, man, I maybe thought I was in the same boat as 10 people max. Didn't know it spanned something this big. Commissioned and paid him in July with him confirming and was completely ghosted. I was patient because I saw his post about his health, but now I think I was scammed. And Kiat was also on the list as well. Don't send hate to him. Don't want to be encouraging hate sent towards anybody, right? Especially somebody who potentially is dealing with health issues. But this is definitely very egregious behavior. And I really, really hope that he refunds everybody that he did not do art for or finishes and delivers on the work that he's promised people. And there's more. You know what's really funny? Neon Beats dropped this post writing Demi #Demi art. This was on February 4th, 2024. He finished the piece that he owed Demi after that massive public call out. Only a day later, he posted it. So he finished it in like 1 day. Why didn't you do this earlier? Which is wild. And here we have Powder dropping like a little gif. Kiat following up writing, hey Neon, it's been impossible to get in contact with you about my commission and paid for back in July. I appreciate if you could follow up with me. Thanks. Cha-Sam writes, how about everyone else that commissioned you? You're gonna finish those or just Demi's because she called you out? And then Irela Graphics writes, your art is insane, but man, it really shouldn't take all this chaos for you to realize peeps have been waiting. Hope this whole thing is a wake-up call. And then again, it's him like laughing about it, right? Oh, and then I forgot to add, under that Smidgian's comment about Neon Beats being creepy in people's streams, here we have another user by the name of Ayumi Pix writing, trust me, he has said a lot of shit when he was on my stream multiple times. Literally, the last time he spoke to me was just to say this. And this is disgusting. Look, AU says, Merry Christmas. This is Christmas 2023. Neon Beat says, Merry Christmas a day later. And then on January 1st, 2024, AU says, Happy New Year. Neon Beat says, Happy New Year. He's still single. AU says, I'm sick. Does that sound better? And Neon Beat says, that's why you're single as fuck. Nobody wants your chunky ass. That's not a joke. That's not funny. Like, that is disgusting to be saying to people. Like, that's so foul. Like, so he's fat shaming people on top of it. And Smidgian says, I've seen him ask so many girls if they're single out of nowhere, then tell them, quote, that's why you're single, end quote. Like, what? And Ayumi says, yeah, I do have a lot more screenshots, and mostly from Twitch, in which I had to delete the VOD due to the things he was saying. And what's worse, I had him as VIP. Just goes to show, bro's not even a good person. Not that I think you could be a good person if you've scammed that many people out of thousands of dollars, but on top of it, and then 2 days after all of that went down, so this is now February 6th, remember, we're still in 2024, Neon Beats drops this apology, quote unquote. And it reads, hello everyone. This message is aimed towards my commissioners, my community, and those that believed in me. I am sorry for the disappointment and frustration I've caused, and I'm sorry for the damages I've done. I'm sorry for the lack of communication that led to this point, and I've left everyone out in the dark. I was accepting too many commissions, more than what I could have handled, because I was overestimating myself that I can do it and deliver what I could. I was afraid to communicate because the work was not really getting done, and I would jump from one order to another without accomplishing anything. That ultimately led to me burning out. Further, as some might have heard on my streams, there were some incidents of poor health where I cut streams short, hindering my progress. I offer my sincere apologies for disappointing everyone who has invested so much time, eagerly waiting, that I've taken their patience for granted and led everyone to believe in the worst. I never intended to scam anyone out of my commissioners, but I fully understand why some would see it that way, with the lack of any communication. I take full responsibility as a navigator.
Ja. Ja, bare bytt den ut for all del. Ja, hvorfor ikke? Ja, nei, jeg vet ikke helt.
Tror jeg må betale noe for å gjøre den jobben nå i tillegg.
Det må snakke med en litt på forhånd, da, for de burde jo være, hvis de bare... Og det burde jo være... De får jo en tur, de får jo hele kjøreturen og alt.
Ja, for jeg også tenker ikke bare det, men hva skal jeg si for noe? Svetlana har jo det veldig slitt hjemme hos de da. Hun skal få en lampe til en tak i messing, sånn som hun hadde lyst på den der hang en lampe før hun flyttet inn, og var jo ekkel å se på soverommet. Og så, ja, og så er det noen, så har de fått maling, og trengte maling på badet. Du vet jo hvordan badet vårt så ut i Loddefjord, sant?
Ja da.
Så de fikset det. Men der var det noen sånne gamle, altså det er gammelt badekar, men det er listen opp under taket, det er sånn de trekker seg ut. Alt er slitt og stygt og skitt ut.
Ja.
Maling nå også tåler baderom. Men når vi var ferdig med baderommet her, for har ikke jeg brukt noe mer. Jeg tror ikke jeg skal bruke det inne på badet her heller, og hvis det er det, så blir det bare en beising, lysning av det som er igjen, ikke sant?
Ja.
Det blir jo ikke noe annet enn det. Jeg har tenkt å begynne med noe hartalgreier her i det hele tatt. Men jeg har ikke fått gjort så mye maling, men jeg har fått satt ned de tujerne, og så har jeg skrapt litt vinduer og litt sånn. Og så har jeg begynt å tømme, jeg har tømt det der rommet bortsett fra redningsvesten inne på det rommet der som fryseboksen står. Så tenkte jeg skulle male i morgen, for jeg reiser i morgen, så slipper jeg å være med den lukten.
Ja.
Så jeg vet ikke om det er nok jord til alle tuer, men jeg har i hvert fall prøvd det. Så jeg har tatt en av de oppi den der, det står for sykt i denne gule saken da. Så jeg har tatt og det var en gammel rot og en masse rødt og drit og lort. Jeg har kjørt alt nede, og så har jeg stappet den ene tuer nede, for jeg tenkte at hvis den kommer seg, så kan den jo i grunnen dekke litt mot naboen, så blir det enda litt mindre for de å se på.
Ja, nei, det var jo... Det var derfor jeg tenkte på å bare putte de opp der med gjerdet, var fordi at...
Det var en kjempeidé, jeg likte det. De er litt for gamle og nysgjerrige, og dessuten hvis de begynner å forstå disse tuene, så går de an å klippe de eller kvitte seg med de igjen. Jeg hadde egentlig tenkt med bambus, sånn som du har hatt, men nå er disse gratis, så da tar jeg gratis.
Ja.
Altså jeg tenker billig, altså hvorfor ikke? Det går om å gjøre å tenke litt sånn, altså det er jo det jeg har gjort her, og jeg har hengt opp noe persienne og noe greier også. Jeg fant det på jernbruk, jeg var jo innpakket på ny da, så jeg har gjort nok ut av det jeg har her. Jeg har tatt med meg litt for mye ting, men det har vi nå bare brent opp i kvittet med, men
Ja.
jeg skal det ha noe positivt som til persienne, så jeg har fått litt her og der, nå har jeg kjøpt det. Så nå er det vinduskarmene ferdig, jeg må vaske vinduene, men det er jo ikke vits å vaske de i regnvær.
Nei.
Men det er jo sånn som jeg kan gjøre senere.
Ja, nei, jeg ser at det er regn på vei, ja.
Her har det regnet. Og så har jeg plukket sammen en 6-7 sekker med alt som jeg måtte inn i vinter, for jeg visste ikke om jeg ville overleve det og sånt. Og så kan ikke ha det ute, for da blir det ødelagt på grunn av værelementene. Og så har jeg lagt alle utemadrassene, og jeg har bare lagt opp i denne barnesengen. Så får hun heller, jeg tror ikke det blir så mange her på en gang, tror du det?
Nei.
Det tror ikke jeg det. Jeg skal få med 2-3 fiskegubber, jeg så hver sin seng, og så har de mulighet til å sove. Der er det 3 duble senger. Jeg ser ikke på noe mer enn det jeg har sagt om. Altså, jeg får si det sånn, jeg foretrekker egentlig ikke å ha barnefamilier, og er det lov å si det rett ut?
Ja da.
Fordi at jeg tenker bare den ene gangen vi hadde så sinnssykt. Når vi leide ut fast, sier jeg at vi ikke har sånn. Men jeg tror vi må henge opp kanskje en lampe med 2 til lyser inne, jeg tenker på veggen.
Ja.
Vi har en lampe. Så klart vi får turen med disse her, så beklager. Jeg vet det tyter litt med deg nå, men det var dum når det gjelder kreativitet i tjenesten.
Ja.
Det er jo lys under, kan du si, over sengene nå, men ha en sånn lampe i taket, så sånn flat plastgreie som bare trykker på knappen, og så er det lys, ikke sant?
Ja, hvorfor ikke?
Da er vi iallfall sikret at det ikke er noe det som dulte opp i, det er ikke noe som kan gi brann eller noe. Og jeg tenker litt sikkert at så da tror jeg skal ikke plage deg mer. Hva gjør du på i dag? Har du vært i Fossen og jobbet, eller?
Nei, jeg kan ikke dra dit ennå.
Å nei, de er på jobb, ja. Nei, de er på det utleie i dag.
Ja, det er utleie til de skal være ute lokalet til halv 8.
Å ja, og så skal det brukes igjen i morgen?
Ja.
Klokken?
Nei, poenget er det skal dekkes igjen fra klokken 9.
Ok, om kvelden?
Ja.
Ok. Og så på søndag, hvor tid er de ferdig da?
Nei, rundt den tiden også.
Ok. Skal jeg avlaste deg litt på søndag da, så det blir litt enklere for deg?
Nei, dessuten når de er ferdig på søndagen, så er det jo bare et hus å ta seg av, og dessuten, det trenger ikke gjøre på søndagen.
Neida, du kan ta det ut.
Men det står jo ikke noe om at det skal brukes for mandagen.
Nei, det har du rett i. Neida, det blir noe inn noen kroner, du får se på det på den måten. Det er jo positivt, ikke sant?
Ja da, nei, men for det er bare den at sånn som logikken der er så... Vet du, da tar jeg begge husene blir jo brukt i kveld, og så tar jeg bare vasker begge, og så er det bare et hus å vaske på mandag. Og så er det ikke så lenge til bussen går etter at jeg har vasket uansett.
Ja, men det er jo positivt da. Husker jeg skal ta med meg. Jeg fant noen sånne stenger som det her, du vet disse sånn jernstenger, du vet hva jeg snakker om, sånne, så du kan henge gardiner på, ikke runde med sånne litt sånn avlange eller sånn da.
Ja.
Loddefjord, så jeg tror jeg skal ta med en og en på barnerommet, og kanskje en på kjøkkenet. De er ikke så fine å si, for de begynner å bli gamle og slitt. Sånn, altså det har vært veldig litt. Men tror ikke du det kan være lurt å bare ta med dem som er i huset og bruke det her?
Jo da.
Jeg tror jeg. Nå skal ikke jeg plage deg noe mer. Men da tar jeg og henger under vasken. Skal jeg ta den i metall og henge den opp ved skapet der? Den er jo litt sånn penere, eller skal jeg henge den under vasken?
Jeg er ikke helt sikker. Under vasken kan vel fungere, da.
Jeg tenker om det er litt mindre luft enn andre. Den må ha litt luft ovenfor seg. Ikke så mye. Så jeg tror du har rett. Ja, da henger den bare under vasken. Hvis det er et lysstopprør her, men jeg kan vel henge den opp sånn at det går an å henge noen kniver. Det er så mye rart, jeg vet ikke. Så klart, Øystein hadde penger fordi at han tenkte sånn som han gjorde overalt.
Ja, for han brukte jo nesten ikke penger.
Så nå har noen kommet inn i bildet og brukt alt så litt til.
Jo, men du, vi snakkes. Jeg må...
navigate through this situation while fulfilling my commitments. Moving forward, I'll be messaging my commissioners in order to resolve the issues. I want to make things right, fix my mistakes, commit to improving communication, finish the commissions in the list, and deliver as soon as I can while ensuring the quality that was expected. I'll keep my head down to clear this work, so I may pursue other aspirations outside of the content creation space. Once again, I am truly sorry for all the disappointment and inconvenience. It's basically the same, and that's all. He had a post from January 18th. He posted the artwork for Demi, and then the apology and he has not posted since. Has he actually been following up with people and apologizing and finishing the commissions like he has stated he would do? Well, now we are a year out from that apology. Okay, that apology was February 6th, 2024. It is now January 22nd, 2025. We are almost an entire year out. And as I have told you that we've read some people's posts earlier, nothing has fucking changed. Haru, I do want to believe that his health issues are causing much stress in his life, but denying refunds and ghosting feels intentionally malicious. Exactly. That's the thing. I can be sympathetic that you're going through health issues. I can be sympathetic that you're going through situations that makes it difficult for you to finish art. But this has been a trend that has been going on for so long, right? If there's people that have been waiting 3 years for their artwork, it was that Discord DM in 2022 where he said people have been waiting 3 years. So that meant that he had people that commissioned him in 2019 that as of 2022, he had not finished the work for. So he had known that his work ethic was absolutely abysmal for years, because his health issue that he went through, he stated, was December 2023. And here it is. Here is that tweet. December 6, 2023. I have went through the worst time of my life, but I still have to keep moving on. I'm sorry for all the delays I've caused. Once everything is done and taken care of, I will be retiring from all of this if bad comes to worse. I'm grateful for your patience and understanding. But he's been ghosting people since allegedly 2019. If it's been 3 years and that came out of his mouth in 2022, it's been at least 2019 that you have been very, very poor in following up with artwork. So that is not due to the current health issues or the health issues experienced in the end of 2023, because this has been going on for so long. Again, you could make an argument there could be like chronic pain, things like that, right? Like chronic health issues. But I would again argue, hey, if you know this is the case, just manage your workload better, right? You can't play ignorance at this point when you owe so many people tens of thousands of dollars across the board. This has scaled way larger. Yeah, and declining the refunds on top of that, which is even crazier if you truly were apologetic or sorry. But I know why he likely can't refund them, because he probably already spent the money and can't refund what's not there. That's what happens to a lot of these scammers, where they would spend the money and then not complete the artwork and then be unable to refund because they don't have the money. Then you would make the argument, hey bro, why don't you just do the artwork? But then they're too overloaded, so they can't. They think they cannot, right? As somebody with serious health issues, I can't imagine doing this. It poorly reflects on disabled people who have businesses too. Yeah, and that's the big thing too, right? Because there are so many disabled people who can run businesses just fine. So it's like a him issue. It's a time management issue. Again, I can completely understand poor health issues, disabilities, whatever, would impact your ability to do work, the speed that you can create at, but you can just roll with it, you know? Like, hey, if you know that you have to work a little slower, etc., that's fine. Also, the thing is, almost all of his commissioners were so kind. They were so kind. They were so patient. All of them were so willing to wait because of his health issues. They were so understanding. And he just took advantage of all of that. Because again, like none of these people, right, were demanding the artwork, being like, give it to me now. I need it. Like, finish it for me in 1 week. They were willing to wait months, years even for him. They were being so patient. He took advantage of all of that. And he was mocking them, calling them impatient for them being patient enough to wait 2+ years, which is crazy because they still had not received their work. They commissioned Neon in July 2023. Here we have more people. Here we have Daff VT. And Daff says, paid in December 2022. Surely on the 3-year anniversary, I shall get it completed. So sad because I love the sketch. Here is the sketch. It looks so good. This is so beautiful. No updates. And Daff says he probably got art block. Can't draw, especially under pressure and anxiety from all the backlash. And Daff writes, he probably got no money to refund. That's what he ain't refunding. He's ghosting. And then in a quote retweet to Vampy, we have this individual, Nia Mocha, writing, held off from speaking about this due to many reasons. Conversations with Neon himself, conversations with others, seeing the same posts, calling him out, hoping that would have been enough to change. I understand being busy with life, certain reasons that could prevent one from getting work done. But heck, why bite more than you can chew? Neon is a talented artist that I saved up to commission and was lovely to meet in 2022, but as a business exchange, it is definitely unacceptable and far from what was promised for a hard-earned money. Not sure if this post will reach him, but I hope to let everyone involved in the situation know that you're not alone. And they added paid for in August 2023, sketch given March 2024. We're now in 2025. So it has been a year and a half. Again, the sketch looks beautiful. It's just no updates. And here we have another person by the name of Evelyn Evania writing, I have also been waiting since June 2023. Can you take a guess on whether I got a sketch draft that night? LOL. Been trying to be silent and patient about it, but I'm glad you're bringing it up again. Shit's wild. And here in emails, you can see again, they're just getting ignored. So some of these screenshots are like kind of out of order. Oh, no, never mind. This is like a whole year later. This is fucking crazy. So Evelyn writes, this is June 16, 2023. I got the invoice and just paid it. Please let me know if it went through without issues. Thank you. And then a month later, July 24, 2023, hey, Neon, just wanted to let you know I have an official ref sheet now. And then they sent another email, sorry, disregard the link in the last email. This link is more appropriate. Then a year later, June 9th, 2024, hey, Neon, just was wondering if there was an update on this commission I could receive. A week after that says, hello, Evelyn. I'm sorry I haven't reached out, but I'll send you the draft as soon as I can. I will draft it up tonight, so you may expect the update by tomorrow or the next day. Thank you for your patience. It really means a lot. And then Nia adds, he took on so many commissions around that time. All the ones I've seen have been around June to August 2023. Oh man, Ev. And Evelyn writes, he publicly opened commissions around that time. I remember last year a list was dropped and I saw so many names on it. It's really sad. Genuinely curious if anyone has gotten what they paid for since Demi's viral call-out post last year, which forced him to acknowledge the issue. And Annie TF writes, I paid in June 2023 and still got nothing at all. Would understand anything if he didn't have like 50 other people he took payment from. His art was so good. And Nia says, I feel like he took all the comms around that time and just couldn't deliver. Man. And Scribble Lord writes, he kept taking commissions for multiple years without even working on any of them. And that is so sad. And by the way, there's more. Here we have Kitty Hannah writing, I'm probably one of Neon Beat's older commissions. I paid March 2023, but it didn't matter because the priority list is based on who complains the loudest on Twitter, not when you commissioned it. I've held off speaking until now. I'm also tired of being quiet and taken advantage of. He sent the first sketch a month after I paid, but after that, nothing was finished for over a year. He came back and wanted to make up for the delay and sent a second sketch, but that was the last update I got. Also incomplete. I love his art, but watching my spot drop lower and lower as newer commissions got worked on first hurt. Really, the only way to get attention was to complain publicly or actually push for a chargeback if you still had time on your PayPal. Otherwise, you just got pushed down the list. I didn't want to speak up earlier because I didn't want to add to his stress, and I understand IRL situations make things complicated for him. But after so much time, I've accepted I'll probably never get my commission, and this post is to help get this feeling off my chest. Here was the first sketch, here is the second sketch. And again, it's so sad because his work is so good. He just doesn't deliver. And Scoocham writes, I'm sorry that happened to you. I feel like pretty much the story is the same for everyone. And Hannah says, I'm sorry you're also a victim in this, Scoo. It's just not fair to any of us. And Cthulhu writes, seeing people continue to come forward about not receiving some kind of refund or their commission finished from him is so disappointing. I'm so sorry, Hannah. You and the others don't deserve that. Everyone's patience and understanding is taken advantage of, and that's not fair. Here we have Eve. Remember Eve, who was also on that Trello board list? Eve writes, oh, Hannah, I'm so sorry you're in the same boat. I also paid for a landscape comp from Neon for $1,000 back in July 2023. I finally received sketches in September and October of 2024. But
an even scale and size.
I feel like there's going to be just more and more people probably coming out with their very poor experiences with this guy, because this is only the icing on the cake for this, by the way. There's going to be more likely. There's going to be more stuff that comes out. But this guy is like abysmally poor at completing commissions. Taking a while to complete your comms is fine. If you need to take like a little bit, a couple months, whatever, as long as you communicate your clients, that's fine. You know, like, hey, you know, if you're going to commission me, just know that I'm a little backlogged right now. It might take me a couple months to get to you. Is that okay? If your client is okay with it, you guys communicate, fine. Don't accept payment until you can start working on it, just from an ethical standpoint. We will cover that in a second. But yeah, the worst part about the whole Neon Beat situation, and again, I don't want anybody blaming people who have commissioned Neon Beats. From everything you would see about this artist online, he seems like he would be such a reputable artist. His art is good. He has a lot of followers, and typically followers aren't always the end all be all, but it typically shows social credibility. Like typically artists with a lot of followers likely would not be a scammer because they have so much to lose, right? They have 188,000 people to lose to call him out on it if he did bad shit. So oftentimes more followers can lead to social credibility. He is also the artist for a very large VTuber. That leads to more social credibility because, hey, if he's an artist for this big VTuber, he's delivered on work for them, then surely he'll deliver on work for me, right? So all of those signs are all green flags in that, hey, you know, this artist looks like they would be somebody that would be very reputable to commission. Other large creators have received work from them, so surely it should be fine. Unfortunately, this case, this person was a scammer and did not deliver on the work. And I'm gonna call them a scammer because it has been so long at this point. And it's always so sad because these people at the end of the day take advantage of the kindness of others, right? These are all people that have been so kind, that have been so patient in waiting for their artwork. They've made no call-out posts. They were willing to wait beyond 6 months after the PayPal closing dates, right, for chargebacks, because they trusted him. Because they trusted him to do their artwork. They trusted they would get the work, and they were being so patient. They got scammed by him. And this also ties into another post that I saw that is also very thought-provoking as well. So I just wanted to add this in. This is a post made by Ugu Bear, and they write, all right, I'll say it. If an artist takes longer than 6 months to deliver your commissions, they should not be accepting work. Yes, sometimes there are extenuating circumstances. However, they cannot keep you and your money in limbo for an undisclosed amount of time. Again, this could be about Neon Beats, could not be right, but this is a very valid point. Accepting money upfront for work that you will not be starting within the next month or so is not a feasible way to run a business. It creates tension and does not allow for the unexpected. Your artists should be upfront about any sort of delay on their end. Seeing this happen more frequently and witnessing a lot of commissioners give grace to their artists because naturally they want to be understanding and they want the art. Providing professional freelance services is not something every artist can do. Frankly, if you are doubting or being given the runaround, I think it's valid to request that any paid amount be refunded until the artist is able to start work. There are a lot of artists who treat commission payments upfront like a payday. Please be mindful and stay safe. And Lily Pichu even commented, writing, frowny face, I paid like 2 years ago for a comm and the guy stopped responding or being active on Twitter a year ago. And Ugu says, no, Lily. And that is very true. I completely agree on that. Obviously, there's an asterisk, okay? I feel like with this post, like a lot of people got really mad because they're like, what about me? I'm a disabled artist, it takes me longer, This is in most cases. Most cases, in my opinion, if you accept payments through PayPal, PayPal has a 180-day chargeback window. Once it has exceeded 180 days, the person cannot charge you back through PayPal. They might be able to dispute it with their credit card or their bank, whatever, but it's not gonna be through PayPal. So if you accept payments through PayPal and you know you're gonna take longer than 6 months to deliver anything or to even start working on it, then don't take the money. I think the sentiment of, hey, take the money when you can start doing the work, I think that's a very fair line to have, and it's very reasonable. Because why do you want to take the money before you're gonna do the work? Why? That's where I ask the question. Oh, is it because you need to pay for stuff, so you need to take the money? Okay, but then why do you need to pay for stuff right in this instant? Like, I get it, maybe there's bills, whatever, an unexpected expense. But this leads to such a slippery slope that very few people can manage it. If you're very good with finances and you're very responsible, you might be able to, but most people fall into a slippery slope, unintentionally or intentionally. Like, this is my little MS Paint drawing, but it literally always, I've seen it happen so many times because I talk about it, right? We have an artist, I'm using my mouse, okay? But here we have an artist, and the artist needs money. So, what do they do to get the money? Like, it's a very last minute thing, something happened, okay? They open up commissions. So then, you know, person A and then person B and person C and person D commission them, okay? So then they have some shmoneys and they're gonna give the shmoneys to the artist, okay? So they have all their money, and then all their money goes to the artist because they're like, oh, haha, I know the artist needs money, so I'm just gonna go pay them for this comm. I'm down to wait, it's totally fine. So now the artist, right, all these people don't have their money anymore. Their money is gone because they gave it to the artist. Now the artist has all that money. Now, here's what a lot of artists do, which is so bad. And this is not just like an artist thing. This is just in general, you are poor with your finances, okay? The artist will take the money and they will spend it on something. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's a really needed scenario, right? Like, unfortunately, your pet ate something stupid and now they have to go to the vet. So you have an emergency vet bill, something unfortunate happens, the fire happens. Sometimes it's also for dumb reasons, okay? Like, the artist wants a drawing tablet. So therefore, they spend all the money on a drawing tablet because they think they need a drawing tablet. They were doing the art just fine without one, but I don't know, they want a drawing tablet. But yeah, so now the artist spent all of the money on a tablet. So now what happens? All the commissioners.
Time to leave. Yes, indeed. Also, slowly but surely updating my comic. Woohoo! Doing art. Yeah, at least I am a legit artist and I don't scam.